Are you making the number one communication mistake in your relationship? Well, hi, I'm Guy Ardito, relationship expert, strategist, and trainer. And today, I want to talk to you about the number one communication mistake that one or both pairs of a couple make in their relationship, and typically what leads to divorce. And it's not what most people think. It's not about yelling or raising your voice or being quiet or demanding your space or fighting or anything like that. No, what it is actually responding to the partner's bids for attention. And bids come in different forms. It might be an attempt to open a dialogue, like, for example, how do I look? Or let's put the kids to bed. Or, I talked to my boss today. Or, do you want to play a game of Monopoly? Or it could be anything. It could even be coming up and touching them on the shoulder or giving a hug or, a kiss on the neck. These are bids for attention. And when their partner does not reciprocate, when they don't engage in a conversation or they don't reciprocate or acknowledge in some way the physical bid for attention, then it's a very intense feeling of rejection. It's actually worse than being in a fight. And Dr. John Gottman, who's done great studies with couples, has shown that after 6 years of marriage, the couples who are still together, well, they respond to each other's bids about 86% of the time. However, the couples who are divorced all had response rates of about a third or less. And I got to tell you, it's remarkably common, especially after you've been married for a year or two, especially if you both have jobs, if there are children in the picture. It's very easy to get sucked into the kind of the busyness of life. But on an emotional level, it really impacts us, and we feel that we no longer matter when our partner is not responding to our bids for attention, whether it's conversational or physical. Then we feel like, where's the relationship? What's going on here? It's a terrible feeling. I've been in that situation in relationships before. And just so I'm clear, any marriage, if you're together long enough, is going to have challenges. You've got to be able, however, to bring this up, right? So your partner might be going through something in their mind. It's distracting their attention, so they might not be attuned to your bids. And sometimes you have to maybe prod them a little bit and ask them what's going on and let them know, because they might not be aware. If they keep not being aware, then that's a problem, right? Because marriage, or at least long-term relationships, are all about taking care of each other, watching out for each other, giving something to each other. That's really the secret sauce, the missing ingredient, right? Where are you focusing? Are you focusing internally, or are you focusing externally? And when you're focusing externally, then it's much easier to pick up your partner's bids because you're recognizing what they're saying, what they're doing, especially if they're doing something unusual, right? If they're asking you a question they don't normally ask, or talking more than they usually talk, or maybe touching you more than you. That's a very clear sign that something is going on with them. They really need you. And if you are tuned into yourself, if you're tuned into all the chores that you think need to be done, or what the kids need, or what's going on at your job, or whatever it might be, then it's very easy to not really even notice what they're doing, or you might notice but not think to respond. And that is really the critical second stage, right? You can't just recognize it, you have to respond. Otherwise, they have no way of knowing that you actually took it in. So I got to tell you, if there's one thing that you do for your relationship, it's look out for your partner's bids and make sure you acknowledge them. Ideally, make sure you reciprocate as it's appropriate, right? And if you're feeling needy, if you're feeling like you're the one who is being locked out or left out of the relationship in some way, really let your partner know that you need them. Make it very clear that they need to be paying more attention when you're talking. They need to be paying more attention when you're touching them. They need to reciprocate. Some people really get locked up in their own heads, and it'd be very frustrating. But I'm here to help you out. I know you want your relationship to last, and that's what I want for you. So that's it for today. Remember, make your bids, respond to your partner's bids. Couples who are together, long term, they show they respond 86% of the time. Couples who wind up divorced, 33% of the time or less. And all those ones in between, well, they might be together, but they might not be together much longer, and they're certainly not being very happy. So I hope you found this useful. If you're interested in working with me, just go to my website, guyardito.com. In fact, you can even register for a great 4-part free course that I have there about how to fix your relationship. You can also find information about my longer training programs and my coaching, whether you're interested in the group coaching or private coaching. So remember, that's www.guyardito.com. In the meantime, Take this out, take it into your relationship, use it, make your relationship better with it. Remember, life is an adventure. Live in love.